So what we covered yesterday was where from all in a sudden these numbers, this mathematics and all those things came in. So I was trying to explain that from the evolutionary perspective, where numbers entered the earth and probably the universe if we are the only intelligent human forms in this whole universe. If there are smarter aliens than us, then probably I could be wrong. But as of now, we believe we are the only people who understand sine theta, cos theta, root 2, 1 by root 3 and all those things. Okay. So with that, probably it is safe to assume that only we have numbers here. So the point which I was driving is it was an evolutionary feature. So one of the first written forms is numbers because it is related to life. It is for trade. It is for you to do agricultural stock taking. It is for you to do taxation. The literature, poem, everything comes much later. So the first inventions always are, you tell invention is the mother of necessity. Have you heard that? Have you heard that? Yeah. So that is a very famous saying that invention is the mother of necessity. So if there is a necessity, then you invent certain things. Okay. So now this number systems, the initial forms were not like this, and we understood there were two very important things which actually helped us in an evolutionary way in the number system. Without those things, probably we might not have reached, the human race would not have reached here. Do you recollect which were those two attributes? So yeah, so one Vandana mentioned one as place value system, second decimal. Vandana, when you message, you select everyone. So she has mentioned place value system, which is excellent. Okay, so to understand place value system is right from the first number system of Sumerians. Okay, second is the decimal system, that is the base 10. So with 60 base, it would have been so very tough. With base 10, like when the place value after 10 it is 100, you can just add a 0. Then one more 0, 1000. One more 0, 10,000. And after the decimal, 1 by 10. And then 1 by 100. One more 0 below. And then 1 by 1000. So the after the decimal, right? So this is the beauty of the decimal system we have. And these two are pretty significant. Without place value system, it would have been so very difficult to do arithmetic operations, that multiplication, division, addition, all those things. So that's why yesterday we took on that how we normally multiply. If somebody tells 15 into 25, how you multiply, you have learned it as a skill. Like a skill you have, like, even in midnight, it's like cycling. If somebody asks you, multiply to 15 into 25, you take 15, 25, 5 into 5, 25, carry over. It comes to you as a skill. So yesterday we were finding out why we are using that method. Why we are carrying forward. That is because of place value system. Okay, 5 into 5, 25, we write 5. 2 we take to this side because that 2 into 25 is not 2, it is 20. It is tens. So you take it to the left position. So when you multiply numbers, so if you multiply 15 into 23, so you first will multiply with 3 into 15, then you will multiply the next one with 2. But when you multiply with the tens position, you write it on the left side. Yesterday we saw that. That is because of place value system. So you tens you write below tens, hundreds you write below hundreds. So without place value system, we saw that with the Egyptian sort of a number system, it would have been so very difficult to manage multiplication, addition, division, all those things. Okay, we are game. All of you, we are game. Okay, right. So now we will get into a different aspect of it. So Egyptians, we told, they had a number system, but it was not a place value system. So they had their own struggle with that. But then they were the ones who did quite a lot of advancements in the maths segment. They built pyramids. So you can't build a pyramid without a solid footage in maths. So one of the practical issue, like they had pretty strong agricultural stuff, especially because they are in the Nile uh, river premises. It is a pretty fertile soil. They had good agriculture. They had bakeries. So this was a practical problem. You can see this is a very famous case, that Egyptian method of serving bread. Bread, what they say bread is, you can tell it as roti. You take this roti. So how do you serve? So it's a practical problem. So you make rotis, and then people come and ask for roti. You have three roti. Four people come. What do you do?
Fraction.
Yeah. So that's the original stuff. Either you can give to three people and tell the fourth guy get lost, then you won't have fraction. Okay. Or you have to find a method to see how do you divide. But then you just visualize, if you have a very crowded shop, people are coming and going like the parcel shops here. How do you divide? You just tell me. You just think a 5,000-year-old bakery in Egypt. Somebody has three bread. Four people are coming and asking. How will you divide if you are there?
Divide it into 4, then give 3 to one person.
Divide each piece by 4, right?
4.
Okay. So and give three pieces of that each. Yeah. It's a good suggestion. Is there a problem? Anyone sees any problem in that?
I see. The bread will break.
Yeah, but okay, they will have some method, breaking and all. They will have methods. Yeah, you can cut bread. Anyone can think of a more efficient method with less number of cuts. See, the game is to manage it with
Give each person half bread, then one bread divided into 4 and give. That's what I said it to explain easily.
Yeah, so give half. That's a good point. You see, because see, what is the game? You are running a shop. You want to manage it with the least difficulty, least number of cuts, so that your efficiency is better. At the same time, you don't want disputes. Okay, so if you try to take one and make too many cuts, and people will fight, I got lesser piece, smaller piece, bigger piece, kind of stuff, right? So the first thing is, can you manage with one cut? Is the first thing. Just one cut. Chances of error is bit less. You can fold it and see and cut, so that the chances of dispute is less, right? So how much one person gets here?
Half.
So one person will get a 1/2, right? And you still have one bread remaining. Okay. So now let me ask you, when somebody tells a fraction called 1/2, what does it mean? Somebody tells 1/2. What does it mean? What does 2 mean? What does 1 mean?
1 means the whole part. We divide it by 2.
Then a fraction called 5/3. What does 5 and 3 mean?
There are 5. Suppose there are 5 cakes. Oh, yeah.
So you said 5/3. I got 5/3 pieces of cake. What does that mean? What is 5 and what is 3 in that? Jenna, what is that? Tell. 5/3 cakes you got. Dana is not giving you any cake. You got 5/3 cake. What does it mean? What is that 3 and what is that 5? See, don't fear to answer, okay? Just answer. It is not your cake, not your bread. You don't lose anything. Neither you are going to get the cake by answering it, right? Nor you are going to lose. Okay?
Is it like out a 3 part? It is divided by 5? Three portions.
Is it like that? 5/3 means, is it 3 divided into 5?
I'm not sure, sir.
No problem. I want to see, if the first thing to understand is to get the doubt. If you have the doubt, at least you will learn.
It's a 3. It's a 1 cake plus 2 by 3 cake.
Okay, that is your, because of your mathematical knowledge you are telling. And I will ask you then the next question. In the 2 by 3, what is 2 and what is 3?
That's 1 cake. That's 2 portion of the, when we divide the cake into 3, the 2 portions.
That is it. So that is it, okay? So you have to understand in a fraction, if you tell a fraction 5 by 3, what does the denominator mean is how many pieces you have cut one into. So you tell a fraction called 25 by 7. So that 7 means you have divided something into 7 pieces. That is what the denominator means. And the numerator means how many pieces you have got. This is very important. You would be using fractions day in and day out, but this understanding of this is very important. So when you tell 1 by 2, that means the division is into 2 parts. Denominator means you have divided into that many parts. And the numerator 1 means you have got only one piece of it. If this numerator was 7 by 2, what does that mean?
There are 3 cakes, 3.5 cakes.
Forget about how many cakes are there. You won't even know. In your house, the parcel came from Amazon. 7 by 2 cakes. You don't even know how many cakes are cut. Somebody tells you will get 7 by 2 cake. So in your hostel, there's a big celebration. And somebody comes and tells, Avinash, you will get 7 by 2 cake. You want to fight by telling you got less, but you feel the maths is so very complicated. 7 by 2. How many cake you had? 16. Oof, 16 cake, I got 7 by 2. There are 17 people. Okay, whatever I got is fine, because maths is tough. Right?
Yes, it's fine, right?
Right? So you have to understand 7 by 2 means the portion is 1 by 2. Portion means the cutting is done by 2. So the denominator means that is the way in which divisions are made. So every cake is been cut into 2 pieces. That is what the denominator means. And the numerator 7 means out of such 1 by 2 pieces, you have got 7 such pieces. You understand? Anyone has a doubt in this? This is basic, okay? This is basic. If you have a doubt, ask now. Anush, Vinayak, everyone here with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So 1 by 2 means the division is done by, this is nothing to do with Egyptian maths or cake, okay? I am telling you, this is the whole universal maths is like that, okay? So throughout. So if somebody tells the value of something is 1 by cos theta, what does it mean? So this is one principle you have to understand while learning mathematics. The principle is very simple. You learn something that is true irrespective of the complexity of the problem or complexity of number. If 1 by 2 means 2 is the number of divisions and 1 is the number of pieces you have got, that is true whether it is 7 by 2, 2367 by 1,55,000, it is the same thing. 1 by cos theta, it is same thing. E raised to x divided by ax square plus bx, same thing. So this is the typical mistake students do. When the numbers become complex, you will think your technique which you have learned will not work. It's not like that. Once you learn a technique, The same technique will hold, the same theory will hold, irrespective of the size. You understand? So if 1 by 2 means you are dividing something into two pieces, you have got 1. Then 1 by cos theta means you are dividing something into cos theta number of times. What is cos theta? It's depending on the value of theta. This is cos 60 means it could be 1 by 2, whatever it is. Right? So you have to understand this golden rule in maths. Once you learn a rule or a theory or certain things, that will hold good. That will hold good irrespective of the complexity of the figure which you are dealing with. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now our Avinash bro has cut this into this two, he has cut it into two. So we have, everyone has got half piece. Now you have got one only remaining. Now if we cut only one, it won't do because you have 4 people. So now there is no other way. You cut it into 4. So now how much one person will get?
3 by 4.
Yeah, but from here how much one person will get?
1 by 4.
1 by 4, right? So same way, if this is 1 by 2, this is 1 by, why this is 1 by 4? Tell me, why you are telling this is 1 by 4?
One piece of the out of the 4.
Yeah, the division is done into 4. The division here was done into 2. That is why in the denominator it was 2. Now the division has changed. It is into 4. And now you have got only one piece of it. Right? So how much you totally got? You have got this much. Right? You got this much, right? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now how much is this? You got 1 by 2 and 1 by 4.
3 by
How much?
4.
3 by 4. How much is 5 divided by 2300 plus 32 divided by 68? Can you calculate? Difficult, right? So this you told because of your familiarity with the number, right, Avinash? You are familiar with this number, right? Actually, you applied a technique to get 3 by 4. We are trying to get into the technique. I know you know what is 1 by 2, what is 1 by 4. I am not sitting here to teach you like 3 bread, how to divide it into 4. That you know, bread or cake or anything you will divide. We are trying to learn some fundamental principles so that you can apply that later. Okay. So can you straight away add these two? You got 14 out of 20 in chemistry in one exam. In the next exam, you have got 20 out of 30. Can you add these two straight away? No, or can you? Yeah. So you see why the base is different. You can compare. That's why we bring all the numbers to all the marks into one common denominator. Normally it is 100, right? And 100 is also called in maths as cent, C-E-N-T. So that's why we call it as per 100, per cent. So once you bring it to percent, you can tell Avinash got 76%, Shivananda got 86%, Jenna got 69%. So you can compare, everyone is in same plateau. There is funnest, I got 18 out of 20 and she got 142 out of 180. No, you can compare. Is it not? Right? So here what is the problem? You are telling, Jenna is telling, I got 1 by 2 of cake. And Danishri is telling, I got 1 by 4 of cake. So how much cake you totally got? You will tell, I got this and this. Or if it is cake, you put 2, like soap, how you put, when the one soap finishes, the new soap when you buy, you put on the top of it, right? Like that you put 2 cakes and tell this much you have got. If it is something which you can mix it, you have to put it 2 hand by telling I got this much. Because this size is different, this size is different. You agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the next cardinal principle. You can't operate, you can't do functional operations between fractions when the number of cuts are different. Here the number of cuts are by 2 and here the number of cuts are by 4, and you can't play with them. It's a universal rule. It's nothing to do with fraction. Anything, if you want to compare, you need same base. Yeah. So now what we should do? We can't take the smaller cake and stretch it like a bubble gum and make it big, right? It is not possible. So 1 by 4 you cannot make it to the size of 1 by 2 because this is bigger. The bottom one is bigger. So what is possible is we can think, can we cut the bigger one into the size of the smaller one, so that everything will become same size. Yeah. So here we have one thing which is cut into 4 pieces here. So you got one of it. And next one you got something cut into 2 pieces. So this 2 pieces one, if you cut one more, then what will happen to this 1 by 2?
2 by 4.
Yeah, so this 1 by 2 will become 2 by 4. Why? Why the denominator changes from 2 to 4? Before this the cut was into 2. This was this. Now we are cutting it one more. That means the cut is changed to 4. So the denominator will become 4. But then the numerator is the girlfriend of the denominator. Okay? So denominator goes to movie. Numerator also will go. Otherwise there would be catastrophe. Right? So the numerator will follow you. So numerator, you can't keep it idle and only change the denominator. Why? Because when the denominator has changed, number of pieces have become 2. So the numerator before was 1. Now, when the number of divisions increases, 1 by 2 will become not 1 by 4, it will become 2 by 4. That is why whenever you multiply a numerator or denominator with something, you have to multiply on both sides, you learn, right? Haven't you learned that? That is because of this. When you divide something further, the numerator will also increase. Denominator increases, numerator will also increase. Now we can manage this. Is it not? You have the division is into 4 pieces. You have got 2 of it here. You have got 1 of it here. So totally you have 3 by 4. Right? You have this. Now what does it mean? You have 3 pieces. 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. Each of 1 by 4. Just go through this again. Just take your time and go through this again. Very simple, but not that simple. When we get into complex stuff, just look into that again and understand the concept. If you have a doubt, ask. Okay? Have a book and pen, okay? In this session, have a book and pen always. Okay. So now, moving on. So what did we learn? We learned if we divide something into 2 pieces, and if we are talking about the top portion, this is 1 out of 2. What does it mean? The division is done into 2 pieces, and I got 1 of it here. This is also 1 by 2. This is also 1 by 2. What if I divide this again? What will happen to my 1 by 2? My 1 by 2 becomes. Why 1 by 2
1 by
becomes?
4.
2 1 by 4s, Dana. Right? My 1 by 2 becomes 2 1 by 4s. Division. 2 became 4 because the number of division increased. But then the numerator also will increase. That is why we tell 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. And same way, if you cut it again, what will happen? What happens to this 1 by 2 here?
4 by 8.
4 1 by 8.
Yeah, that becomes 4 1 by 8. Is it not? So that is why you tell, whenever you divide, whenever you multiply the denominator with something, you have to multiply numerator also. Or whenever you multiply the numerator with something, you have to multiply the denominator. Reverse is also true. If you divide the denominator here, think this is 4 by 8, you are dividing both. You are dividing this 8 by 2. So this denominator will become from 8 to 4. But then you have to divide this 4 also by 2, because dividing the denominator 8 by 2 means you are taking these two lines away. Multiplying numerator and denominator means you are making further division. So 1 by 2, if you multiply numerator and denominator by something means you are making more divisions. So if you multiply 1 and 2 both by 3 means you are making 3 more divisions. You multiply both 5 means you are making 5 more divisions. Are you able to visualize that? To get this concept, okay? This concept is important. Okay, so we will all learn maths and we will do play with fractions and all, but you have to understand the concept very well. Where from the fraction comes, why you multiply like this, why you divide like this. Same way, if you are like dividing 8 and 4 both by 2, what does it mean? You are taking out some divisions. This division, these lines will take out. So if 8 you divide by 2 and get it 4, then 4 also you have to divide by 2 so that this becomes 2 by 4. This will become this. So if you're dividing 4 by 8 by 2 means this is the result. You are taking this line and this line out. Yeah? Okay. Now, then what is 7 by 4? So till now we are talking about 1 by 2.
7 1 by 4.
Yeah, it is 7 1 by 4. See, what is the difference here from the previous case? Here the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So always fraction doesn't mean less than 1. Okay, doesn't mean less than 1. So what does it mean? You divided something into 4 pieces. But the numerator is 7 means here only 4 such pieces are there. How many more pieces you need?
3 more.
3.
3 more pieces, right? So you need 3 more pieces. So how you will read this? You will read this as 4 by 4 plus 3 by 4, correct? This is 4 by 4 plus 3 by 4. So that is 4 by 4 is 1, 3 by 4 is 3 by 4. So now if I ask you 1 and 3 by 4, write as fraction, what operation you normally do?
Multiply the whole number with the denominator and add the numerator.
Yeah, is it not? Everyone? If 1 and 3 by 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what you do, you multiply this 4 with 1 and add this 3. Right? 4 into 1, 4 plus
Yes,
3.
sir.
Yeah. You now understand why you do that? That 4 into 1 you are multiplying is actually to get this 4 by 4 value. So actually, if it is 1 and 3 by 4, this is 4 by, this 1 means 4 by 4. Why 4 by 4? Why not 2 by 2? Because division, denominator is fixed. In a fraction, denominator once if it is 4, division is done into 4 means this also divided into 4. Instead of this 1, if it was 2, then what would have been this value?
$11 by 4.
Okay, you are jumping 2 steps, Avinash. Instead of 1, if this was 2, what would have been this value?
8.
That would have been 8 by 4. Right? If this was 2, all of you are with me? Anyone has a doubt? Ask. If this is 2, then this should have been 8 by 4. If this should have been 3, this would have been 12 by 4. So now if you were to convert it into this, you want to get this number, whether it is 8 or 12 or 4. That is why you are multiplying this with this 4. If this, let us assume this was 5 and 3 by 4. So how you will calculate? This 5 is 5 into 4, 20 by 4. Then 20 plus 3, 23 by 4 you get. So now you understand why you do that operation?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
I am assuming those who are not responding or understanding. Sam, Anush?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have a doubt? Please ask. Okay. Now, what is 5 by 2 then?
5 halves.
5 halves. Okay. 1 half. So not sufficient because it's only 2 by 2. One more. Then it's only 4 by 2. One more. Then this is 5 by 2. Right? Agree. So now if you write it as whole numbers, what will happen? This becomes 2 by 2 plus 2 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Right? So this is what you call as 2 and 1 by 2. So how do you normally convert this? You will convert 2 into 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5 by 2. That, why are you doing it? You are trying to get this figure. You are trying to get this 4 value, 4 by 2. That is why you are multiplying this with this. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let me give you a work. Take your book and pen and do this. If you want to write it in my screen, you can do that using annotation. Or if you want to write it in your notebook, do it.
Sir, what we should do?
You make similar to this.
No, we can't make.
Why?
Because the denominator is. Yes.
Okay. See, one thing about
1,
maths.
2 by 3.
Yeah, I don't want the final. I know you know what 5 by 3 is 1 and 2 by 3. I want you to visualize it and write it and make the diagram so that the geographic, you get the geometrical picture in your mind. Once you get the picture, when the complex problem comes, you can visualize it and do it. This is otherwise this is primary school, na? 5 by 3 you write it into this thing. That is not what I'm trying to get with all you smart intelligent folks, right? See, what will normally happen in maths, when you hear something, you will feel this is so simple. Once you start doing yourself, that is time you'll start getting all kind of doubts in the world. Okay, good. Right now, these values. If others want to write in some other part of my screen, you can type. I can divide my screen and give to different parts, different people like fractions. Okay, right. So all of you get this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everyone follows it, right? Dana, if Jenna has a doubt, just explain to her, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So we move on. I hope all of you understand this. Okay, so this problem you go home and do the next one. 9 by 2, you go home and do it. Okay, as your assignment. It's very simple, nothing big in that. Okay, now moving on, we get back to our bread business. Okay, do this. Tell me how we do this. What is the most optimal method? Most optimal way means less number of cuts so that it is faster and less intricate cuts. I have one student in my one of the previous classes who told that why they are eating bread, why can't they eat idli? So that this is easier to divide.
Can you please divide the first three breads into two pieces?
First 3 breads into 2 pieces. I did what you tell. I know I did it before itself.
And we give each person 1 by 2.
We give each person 1 by 2. I know what Shivananda will tell, being the intelligent girl she is. Okay.
And the one piece left 1 by 2, we can divide it into two pieces, 1 by 4 each.
So each remaining ones, you will make it this one, right? This much is remaining, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what you do with this, you told?
Divide it into 1/4 each.
Each piece 1/4, right? Okay, I did it. Each piece into
And
one.
give each person
So
1/4.
1/4, okay.
And the last 1/2 you can divide into 5 pieces.
Last 1/2 you have?
1/4.
1/4, yeah. So last 1/4 you divide it into 5 pieces. So, okay. So how much is this now? This one piece? Last
And
piece. This is 1/2. Now this is 1/4. What is this last small piece?
1/2.
So everybody got this, right? See, as Shivadanda told, first option is to cut it into 1/2, so that with one cut you can manage. See, 3 breads, you could manage with only 1 cuts. So one person, each person got 1/2. So remaining you had 1 full and 1/2. So she cut those into 1/4, each piece 1/4. So you got 6 pieces. So again, so each 1/4 pieces you gave to each person. So you had 1/4 remaining. So she told, now you cut it into 5 pieces. It is tough to cut a 1/4 piece into 5 pieces, but it's only 1 piece left. There won't be much chances of a dispute, and there is no other way now. So you cut that. Yeah, so that, yes, Shivananda told, that is 1/20. Do you all get this? How this is 1/20? Sir, anyone who doesn't get that, this is 1/20. This is straightforward, because if you are cutting this into 5 pieces, you cannot cut only one portion of the bread into 5 pieces. This also 5, this also 5, this also 5, this also 5. So totally you are making one bread into 20 pieces. So the denominator becomes 20. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Vandana, do you agree? Yeah, okay. So you, denominator, you make it 20 and you get one piece from that. So that is 1/20. So each person has got 1/2 and then 1/4, then 1/20. Like we told before, we cannot manage an addition like this. We cannot manage, because one piece is 1/20, one is 1.5, one is 1/4. So what do we do?
Make the base same. 20.
Yeah, so each this 1/2 also we have to make it into 20 pieces, 1/20. This 1/4 also you have to make it into 1/20. That means the number of divisions 20. That doesn't mean you now is the point. That doesn't mean this 1/2 is the half part you make 20 cuts. So divided by 20 means the one bread you are making into 20 pieces, not 1/2 bread into 20 pieces, not 1/4 into 20 pieces. You understand? So that is the key thing you have to understand in fraction. When you tell the denominator is one piece, how many parts you have made into. That is what denominator means. Numerator says how many of that you have got. Yeah. So now here, this means this piece, this 1/2 means this bread, if you make it into 20 pieces, what will happen to this 1/2?
It will be divided into 10 pieces.
Yeah, this top portion, this 1/2 will be 10 pieces, and each piece will be 1/20, right? Agree? Okay. What will happen to this 1/4, this quarter side? It will become like this, 5 1/20s, right? Yeah, so this will become 10/20 plus 5/20 plus 1/20. Now we know all are, so I got 10 1/20s plus 5 1/20s plus 1 1/20. So I have got 16/20. So what does the 16/20 mean?
16 pieces of 1/20.
16 pieces of 1/20. Okay, but if you ask somebody to divide straight, 16 pieces of 1 by 20 you divide, it would have been trouble, which means each bread you have to make it into 20 pieces and 16 pieces you give. There would have been, that bakery would have closed. If you are like a great mathematician, you go and tell, okay, I have studied mathematics, now you tell me what is your bakery problem. 4 bread into 5. Take each bread and make it into 20 pieces. Give 16 into 1. With that tawa, he will give you one on your head and tell you to get lost. This is bakery will get closed. Right? So this is good for mathematics. The division, this is easier. But the values same. You see now? You can actually make this 4 is, this is 4 into 4, this is 5 into 4. So that 4 you can take out, this will become 4 by 5. Same thing. 4 by 5, divide 4 by 5. Thing is same. You understand, all of you? The bread business? You start bakery with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Assignments? Not this. I'll also upload in the site. Even if you don't help at the home in some cooking or making breads, at least do some bread cutting here in the math class. So now, what is 1 by 1 by 5?
Sir, we want to see the answer or relate.
How do you relate? How do you divide this into 1 by 1.5? Show me pictorially what is 1 by 1.5. Anush, you're telling something?
10 pieces divided by 15.
Okay, I hear
Make
you.
10 to
One
15.
Yes, Yolanda?
One whole piece and a half.
1 full piece and a half. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others? This is 1 full piece. If you see, what is the problem here? Till now we are telling divide something into 2, divide something into 3, divide something into 20. These are all integers, right? Now you are telling divide something into 1.5. So what is 1.5? How do you divide something into 1.5? 1 by 2 of what? You divide it like this. Shivadanda and Anush, you take your annotation and show me how to divide to 1 and 1 by 2. Shivananda and Anush, your idea is right. I fully agree with you. Can you now execute it? Or show, draw and show. Okay, so the second piece, so can you show here in this piece how you will cut it? Where will you make the cut, Anush? In this piece, where will you make the cut? Okay, so this is, and which piece you will give? Somebody comes and tell, I have an order to give 1 by 1.5 of the whatever roti or whatever you say. So which portion you will give in this? If you give any portion, it is 1 by 2, right? So which, how do you give? How do you make the cut? So you decided to stop the bakery business, but you think it is too tough. Studying maths is too complicated. Yeah.
Sir, who will ask 1 by 1.5 pieces?
Now you are telling the question is wrong. Avinash is now telling, sir, this is a bad question. We won't have a requirement like this. Okay, let us skip this problem. So it is like this. If somebody is telling like, I remember once I was teaching one of these things like the large numbers or small numbers. So I was telling them, now you visualize. We will do here also. I told them, now you visualize 1 divided by 1 into 10 raised to minus 22. So the person tell who will need, sir, 1 divided 1 by 1, 10 raised to minus 22. Why should we trouble with all those things? Okay. Anyone? Anyone wants to attempt? Okay. So shall I try? Shall we get into this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what I'm telling. So this kind of stuff, the kidney will have to work. Okay, such problems. Okay. See,
Sir,
now
I will
you
check.
are try. I will just change his position from this problem is irrelevant to I will try. This is what Ronaldo's free kick.
Sir, I will tell, sir. When we can divide it into 15 pieces, then take 10 of it.
Your bakery will be closed down, Avinash, with you. That guy will kick you out. Okay. So now, what does it mean? Actually, Shivananda and Anush were right. The meaning of this is you are dividing this into two pieces. One piece one, another piece half. But half of what? That's what they were getting confused. Anush thought it is half of this. No, it is half of this one. So to divide it into two pieces, where one piece is one and the next piece is half of it. Yeah. So this is right. What they thought is right, but visualization was difficult. So what does this mean is you are dividing this into two pieces. One piece is one full and second piece is half of this. And what does this numerator mean? In numerator means you get this small piece or big piece?
The big one.
You
The big
get
one.
the big piece where I have highlighted. So this 1 by 1.5 is this piece. This piece. That is 1 by 1.5. Now this is troublesome, right? Right? You have to
Yes, sir.
cut and see this thing. So we have to solve this. How to make it easier. Right? So now you see, what does this also mean? Listen carefully. What does this also mean? This means this piece is double of this piece. Right? So if this is 0.5, this is 1. And if this is 1, what is this?
2.5.
That is 2, right? So 2.5 is 2. If this is 0.5, this is 1. Yeah, then if this is 1, this is 2, right? If this is 2, this is 4. Right? Is it not? Do you all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is 1 by
So
2.
divided it in 3 parts, right?
Yeah. So now you see, now we have got into integers. That is our terrain. So that means you can divide this into 3 parts and give 2 parts is the same thing, 1 by 1.5. Dividing something into 3 parts is an easy business because you know the angle of a circle is 360. Dividing into 3 is 3 by 360, 120 degree. That you know. This is difficult. So this highlighted portion is same as this portion, is same as this portion, is equal to this. Do you get this?
Yes, sir.
All of you? Okay. So that what does this mean? What is the total value of this piece? 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. That means you have 2 1 by 3s. Right? We have 2 1 by 3, that is 2 by 3. Right? Yes or no? So 1 by 1.5 we understood that is 2 by 3. Okay? Now 1.5 is actually 3 by 2, right?
Yes.
So 1 by 1.5 is 1 by 3 by 2, right?
Yes. That's 2 by 3.
That is 2 by 3. Something is clicking?
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? Here comes another principle of fractions. If
Excuse
you
me,
are,
sir.
yes.
Sir, like how it is 1 3 by 2?
This
Like
1.5 is 3 by 2, right?
Okay, sir.
1.5 is 3 by 2, right? 3 by 2 is 1.5, right?
Yeah.
So 1.5 we are writing it as 3 by 2.
Okay, sir.
So 1 by 3 by 2 is equal to 2 by 3. Because 1 by 1.5 is 2 by 3 we established here, right? 1 by 1.5 is equal to 2 by 3 is what we established here, right? Because 1 by 1.5 we made this diagram. This is 0.51, this is 1, 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. So this is 2 by 3. So the value of 1 by 1.5 is 2 by 3. That is what we established, right? Dana?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we are writing this 1.5, we are writing it as 3 by 2. Right?
Okay, sir.
So what does it mean? If you divide a number with another fraction, you can multiply that. 1 by 3 by 2 is equal to 1 into 2 by 3. Reverse of it. You learned this actually. Haven't you? If you divide something by a fraction, you can multiply
Yes,
with the
sir.
reciprocal. Haven't you learned? All of you have learned. Is it not? Yeah, so this is where it is coming from. So this is the root where from it is coming. So if you to divide something with a fraction, you can multiply with the reciprocal of it. Reciprocal of which is 3 by 2, reciprocal is 2 by 3. Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Dhanishri getting it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so try another one. 1 by 2.5. Similar way. What does it mean now? You tell me. Somebody, just tell. Attempt.
2 and 0.5.
Yeah, 2 and 0.5. But 2 is 2 ones, right? So this means you are dividing something into 3 portions. One portion 1, another portion 1, third portion 0.5. If it would have been 3, you know you are dividing into 3. So you understand, if it is 1 by 2, you know this is dividing into 2 pieces. If it is 1 by 3, you know it is dividing into 3 pieces. So 1 by 2.5, 2.5 is between 2 and 3. So you are neither dividing 2 times nor dividing 3 times. Something in between. So that between means what? 1, 1.5. You understand? So what is 0.5? 0.5 is half of 1 of this portion. And what is the value? Numerator 1. I have got one big piece, 1 piece. So the value of this figure 1 by 2.5 is this. Where is this highlighted portion? Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now similarly, we want to make this into integer so that our business is easier. So we make this 0.5 into 1. If this is 1, this is 2, this is 2. Now we know you are dividing a circle into 5 pieces. In that 5 pieces, 2 are your value. Right? Agree? So you're dividing one circle into 5 pieces. Each piece is 1 by 5. 2 of it, this highlighted 2 is equal to this portion, is equal to this portion, is equal to this value. Which is what we are establishing. Which obviously 1 by 5s, which is 2 by 5. See, this presentation I am updating. Every day I am uploading the presentation in the site. You don't have to copy whatever I am writing here. If I am telling something which is not written here, then only you have to make a note. This I will upload. Right after this class, I will upload From the site you can take it. Today's slides. So now what we established, 1 by 2.5 is equal to 2 by 5. Now 2.5 is what? In fractions, how you write 2.5? It is 5 by 2, right? 2.5 is 5 by 2, right? 5 by 2. So now what are we
Yes.
telling? 1 by 5 by 2 is equal to 2 by 5. So we are again establishing the same principle that if you have to divide 1 by 5 by 2, you have to only multiply 1 by reciprocal of this, that is 2 by 5, you will get the value. This is what we established today. These are your homeworks. These two. This is a googly. Spend your kidney, liver, everything on this. This could be easier. Okay. So take note. With that we end today's session.